Okay. So we're inside the entrance passage of the Broch, so this is the main and only way in and out of the Broch. It's arranged just south of east, and it's a long 5 metre long passageway that penetrates from the outer wall face all the way through to the interior of the Broch. So obviously behind me you're getting a view into the inside of the Broch and the work that we're doing in there. And in the passageway itself, there's been some damage rendered onto it by some antiquarian excavation in 1901. But even with that, that damage in the early 20th century, there's some good features in here that we can still see. So these major uprights are essentially part of the door frame, door jambs that would have helped with the fixing of a stout wooden door in place about more than 3/4 down the length of the entrance passage here. And then somewhere down there almost certainly there'll be a large stone pivot. If it's still there, that's to say if it survives. But at some point there will have been a large stone pivot on top of which a big iron shod door with a beam would have swung back and forward to shut and open the door that would have been in here. And actually, right the way in here, behind the door jambs, and it has been slightly damaged by that early 20th century antiquarian excavation, but nevertheless you can get a sense of this kind of squared off slot that's in behind the door jamb here. And this is a bar hole. This would have been where a big wooden beam would have slid back and forward behind a wooden door set against these door jambs, and it would have allowed that wooden door to have been shut incredibly tightly in the passageway here. So views of Brochs have moved on somewhat in the last few decades, and we no longer tend to see them as primarily defensive and military in nature, but nevertheless they were capable of withstanding quite a fair degree of hostile intent if it was necessary. And certainly they have these really elaborate and substantial entrances that can be locked and secured against the outside world, it would seem. So, they still have an imposing and an impressive defensibility, at least in some respects.